This is a peaceful place. A place where the tall grasses of tidewater wave in soft breezes. Where gnarled old trees stand alone, leaves glittering in the morning sun. Here, a mossy spring, so very cold that 'twas dangerous drinking the water thereof in summertime, quenched the thirst of visitors for untold centuries past, and gave this place its name. There is quiet here, a respite from the encroaching noise of 21st century progress.
But as you walk about this site, you somehow do not feel alone. And then it strikes you. This place is quiet, but it is not silent. There are voices here, whispers from the past, telling stories of revolution and rebellion, of political intrigue and personal ambition, of achievement and failure, of slavery and freedom. This place is Green Spring, and just beneath the surface lie buried treasures of our nation's history, waiting to be uncovered.
More than 350 years old, Green Spring Plantation is arguably the most important unexplored historic and archaeological site in America. Located both in time and space, midway between Jamestown and Williamsburg, Green Spring completes the thread of our nation's history that leads from the arrival of the first English settlers to the establishment of the New World's first representative government, to the first stirrings of resistance to colonial rule during Bacon's Rebellion in 1676, and to the birth of a new nation during the Revolutionary War 100 years later. Here in Virginia's Tidewater, at Jamestown, Green Spring, Williamsburg, and Yorktown, cultural, economic, political, and military forces helped create an independent United States of America.
Of these 4 historic places, only Green Spring remains unexplored and closed to the public, its many stories buried and untold. Yet, it was here at Green Spring that some of the most significant events of America's first 200 years occurred. In this place, the first great house along the James was built, announcing that Virginia was no longer a struggling frontier settlement. In this place, English traditions of representative government were transplanted and modified, and English colonists first began to think of themselves as Virginians. It was here that large-scale tobacco production eventually dominated the economy, and Africans became entrapped in a system of legally enforced, institutionalized slavery. The story of Green Spring begins with the story of one man, Sir William Berkeley, Virginia's longest-serving and most influential royal governor. Berkeley built Green Spring in 1645.
At the height of its grandeur, the estate covered some 7,000 acres along the James River and became the hub of Virginia politics and society during the second half of the 17th century.
Berkeley was a remarkable man, both for his time and by contemporary standards. He was a courtier and a published playwright from a prominent English family who was also able to command forces in the field. He was an intellectual in the sense that he experimented with agronomy and agricultural experimentation at a time when that was rarely done by aristocrats. But he was also a leader who knew how to make this colony strong and develop the institutions that it needed to survive and prosper. He was able to create a whole new concept of what it was to be a colonist in the New World.
Green Spring's story is also that of the woman behind the man. In this case, that woman was Frances Culpeper Stevens Barclay, who married Sir William in 1670. Described by one writer as the Old Dominion's most notable 17th century woman with the possible exception of Pocahontas, Lady Frances reigned at Green Spring for some 20 years. A staunch defender of the political interests of her husband and the Green Spring faction, she survived Sir William to marry Colonel Philip Ludwell, thus becoming the only woman in Virginia's history to marry 3 colonial governors.
Although most important as the 17th century bridge connecting Virginia's 2 early colonial capitals, Green Spring's 18th and 19th century history is also significant. In the 1770s, Green Spring Plantation was the site of secret religious services attended by slaves who founded the first black-led Baptist church in America.
In 1781, the Marquis de Lafayette used Green Spring as a gathering place for Continental troops prior to engaging Cornwallis's redcoats in the Battle of Green Spring. 3 months later, the battle at Yorktown would win America's independence once and for all.
Beginning in 1803, more than 30 slaves emancipated by young William Lee left Green Spring Plantation to start a new, freed black settlement on nearby farmland left them in his will. The history of Green Spring as a plantation effectively ended in May 1862, when Union Army units destroyed the Lee Manor House, ironically owned at the time by a Yankee, Robert C.A. Ward of New Jersey.
Jamestown, Green Spring, Williamsburg, Yorktown. Each of these places tells one chapter in the story of a nation's formation. Until now, Green Spring has been the silent chapter, the missing link, the treasure waiting to be discovered.
Today, the buildings of Green Spring are gone. The men and women who lived there and visited during its days of grandeur are ghosts of the past. Still, Green Spring is a place that speaks to anyone who walks its grounds.
As author and archaeologist Ivor Noel Hume wrote in a 1996 article about Green Spring, those who believe in the supernatural will tell you that places once the scene of great emotional or physical stress retain their energy and can release it years or even centuries later. The Friends of Green Spring are determined that Americans now and in the future will be able to feel the energy of Green Spring, to hear the voices of its past, to enjoy this remarkable place that so influenced who we are as a people and as a nation today.
Do the things we want to accomplish here, which basically include opening the site to the public and to archaeologists so that they can come in and see the archaeological work underway in the next several years. And when that archaeological work is completed, we hope to have the site open so that generations of school children will be able to come here and get a better understanding of the first 170 years of early American history.
It's an ambitious goal that will take great effort, much time, and yes, money. For access roads, parking, a visitor center, trails, and maintenance. Your support is needed now. The lessons to be learned from the exploration and interpretation of historic Green Spring are certain to illuminate and enrich the lives of present-day Americans of all races, creeds, and colors. The people and events of Green Spring Plantation changed the course of our nation's history and helped build the foundations of what we know today as the United States of America.